the Federation was never supposed to lose. For centuries, Starfleet stood as the last great symbol of hope in the galaxy, a future built on peace, exploration, unity. But what if that future died? What if the Dominion War ended not in victory, but in total collapse? Imagine Earth under occupation, Starfleet shattered, the Klingon Empire burning, the Romulans betrayed, and the Federation reduced to a scattered resistance fighting from the shadows. Today, we enter one of the darkest alternate timelines in Star Trek history. This is what happens. The war begins the same way. The Bajoran wormhole opens, and from the Gamma Quadrant comes a power unlike anything the Alpha Quadrant has ever faced. The Dominion, cold, patient, relentless, led by the mysterious founders and enforced by the genetically engineered Jem'Hadar. This was not just another rival empire. This was a civilization built entirely around absolute control. Their philosophy was simple: submit or be destroyed. At first, the Federation believed diplomacy might work. After all, Starfleet had always found a way. But this enemy was different. The Dominion did not want peace. It wanted obedience. And when diplomacy failed, war became inevitable. The first major crack in the Federation's confidence comes with the fall of Deep Space Nine. The station, gateway to the wormhole, becomes the most strategic point in the war. In this alternate timeline, Starfleet fails to retake it. The Dominion fortifies the station. Reinforcements pour through the wormhole unchecked. Thousands of Jem'Hadar ships flood into the Alpha Quadrant. Within weeks, Cardassian and Dominion fleets begin pushing deep into Federation space. At first, Starfleet believes it can hold the line. Vulcan, Beta Z, Andor, the core worlds are fortified, but the Dominion is not fighting for territory alone. It is fighting a war of exhaustion. Every battle costs Starfleet ships. Every victory feels temporary. For every Dominion ship destroyed, 2 more arrive. The Federation begins to realize a horrifying truth. This is not a war it can win through endurance. Then comes the nightmare. Beta Z falls. One of the Federation's most culturally significant worlds is taken. The psychological impact is devastating. This is no longer a distant frontier conflict. The war has reached the heart of the Federation. Panic spreads across member worlds. Civilian evacuations begin. Families crowd starports. Hospitals overflow. Subspace channels are filled with distress calls. And for the first time in generations, the Federation feels fear. Not uncertainty, not concern. Fear. On the front lines, the Klingon Empire launches a desperate counter-offensive. Martok leads fleets into Dominion territory. Massive battles rage across the stars. Bird of Prey squadrons slam into Jem'Hadar formations. Entire fleets vanish in plasma fire. But even the Klingons begin to falter. The Dominion's industrial capacity is too vast. Their soldiers are engineered for war. No fear, no retreat, no surrender. The Klingon homeworld itself comes under threat. Kronos burns. Its orbit fills with wreckage. Great houses collapse. Warriors die by the thousands. The proud empire that once rode across the galaxy is pushed to its knees. Then the Romulans make their move. At first, they join the Federation alliance, but in this darker timeline, everything changes. The Dominion exploits the one thing every great empire fears: self-preservation. The Romulan Senate secretly negotiates with the founders. In exchange for neutrality and eventually cooperation, the Romulan Star Empire is promised survival. It is the ultimate betrayal. The alliance shatters. Now Starfleet is alone, surrounded, outnumbered, doomed. Earth becomes the final fortress. Starfleet recalls every surviving vessel. The Sol system is transformed into a war zone. Orbital defense platforms, minefields, planetary shields. Every ship from the oldest Excelsior-class cruiser to the newest Sovereign-class warship is assembled. This is the last stand, the final battle for the Federation. And then they arrive, a Dominion fleet so vast it darkens the stars. Hundreds of ships, then thousands. Cardassian warships move information. Jem'Hadar attack wings spread across orbit like a storm. The battle begins. Phasers tear through the darkness. Photon torpedoes streak like meteors. Ships explode in brilliant silence. The sky above Earth becomes an inferno. For hours, Starfleet fights with everything it has. Captains refuse to retreat. Crews fight until their ships break apart around them. Heroes are born and lost in seconds. But the numbers are impossible. One by one, the defense lines collapse. Starbase 1 is destroyed. Mars shipyards are obliterated. Luna's orbital stations go dark. Then the unthinkable happens. Dominion troops begin landing on Earth. Imagine the terror. For centuries, Earth has been the symbol of a bright future. Now Jem'Hadar soldiers march through its cities. Starfleet headquarters is attacked. San Francisco is under occupation. The Golden Gate Bridge, once a symbol of unity, is now shadowed by enemy warships. Humanity's homeworld has fallen. The Federation is dead. But the story does not end there. Because from the ruins, resistance begins. Scattered Starfleet survivors regroup. Admirals who escape Earth establish hidden command centers in deep space. Former captains become guerrilla leaders. Runabouts and damaged starships become resistance vessels. The once great Starfleet is reduced to shadows. Hit and run attacks, sabotage missions, smuggling civilians off occupied worlds. Every mission is dangerous. Every victory is small, but hope survives. Captain Sisko becomes the face of resistance. No longer a station commander, no longer a diplomat. Now he is something darker, a wartime legend, a ghost haunting Dominion supply lines. His ship appears without warning, strikes, disappears. Cardassian depots explode, shipyards vanish in fire. Jem'Hadar patrols are ambushed. Whispers spread across the occupied worlds. The emissary still fights. To Bajor, he becomes more than a man. He becomes prophecy, a symbol that the Dominion cannot erase. Meanwhile, occupied Earth changes. Curfews, checkpoints, surveillance, subspace communications monitored. Citizens question. Suspected rebels disappear. The Federation's ideals are systematically dismantled. Freedom of movement is gone. Freedom of speech is gone. The dream of unity is replaced by fear. And the most chilling part, some worlds begin to accept it. Years of occupation wear people down. Some collaborate for survival. Others convince themselves resistance is hopeless. This is what makes the story so dark. The Federation is not destroyed in a single battle. It is slowly suffocated. Its ideals eroded from within. Then comes the turning point. Cardassia itself begins to crack. In canon, the Cardassians eventually rebelled. In this darker timeline, the rebellion still happens. But too late. Legate Damar rises against Dominion rule. Underground cells form. Weapons caches are stolen. For a moment, it seems the tide may turn. But the founders are prepared. The female changeling orders mass retaliation. Entire cities are destroyed. Millions die. Cardassia Prime becomes a warning to the rest of the galaxy. Obey or suffer the same fate. The rebellion is crushed. Damar is killed. The last major chance to break Dominion control is gone. Years pass. The Alpha Quadrant changes. The Federation no longer exists as a united political body. It survives only as memory. A myth older generations tell children in secret. A time when worlds cooperated, when exploration mattered, when starships came in peace. The Dominion reshapes everything. Trade routes are militarized. Borders become prison walls. Species are ranked by loyalty. Dissent is met with extermination. The galaxy becomes ordered, but lifeless. Safe, but enslaved. And yet, one question remains. Could Starfleet ever rise again? Now this is where the story becomes truly thrilling. Because deep in the Beta Quadrant, hidden among nebulae and forgotten systems, remnants survive. Old shipyards, secret colonies, retired captains, Klingon survivors, Romulan dissidents who regret their betrayal, even former Cardassian officers haunted by what they helped create. An alliance begins to reform, not as governments, as survivors. This is no longer Starfleet as we know it. This is rebellion. Picture the scene. A battered Galaxy-class starship emerges from a nebula, its hull scarred, its registry half burned away. Beside it, Klingon cruisers decloak. A stolen Dominion battleship joins formation. For the first time in years, ships gather under a common cause. Not for conquest, for liberation. A final war begins. Not a war of nations, a war of memory. A war to reclaim the future. But here is the terrifying question. What if the Federation lost, not because it was weaker, but because its ideals made it vulnerable? What if peace itself became its greatest weakness? This is what makes the Dominion War such a powerful dark what if. Because it forces us to ask whether utopia can survive against absolute brutality. Can hope endure occupation? Can freedom outlast fear? And if Starfleet fell once, could it fall again? Somewhere in another timeline, Earth still burns beneath Dominion banners. The stars are silent, the Federation is gone, and the dream of a united future survives only in whispers. The final question is not whether Starfleet could lose. It is this. Would the galaxy ever be the same if it did? And with that, we conclude the video. Thanks for watching and catch you in the next one. Take care.